Hey guys, it's me, Rich. You're about to watch adult libnut women misuse a word they clearly do not understand on national television without a shred of embarrassment. Today, we're breaking down how the shrew turned Senator Lindsey Graham's death and his sister's temporary appointment to his seat into a lecture on DEI, a term Sonny Hostin and Joy Behar throw around like they own a dictionary that they've never opened. We have a video to show you, and the evil in it will make you shake your head. And if you stick with me till the end of this video, you'll see exactly how a genuinely warm human moment got buried under confident, well-produced nonsense. Let's get into it. All right, guys, welcome back to RPW Media, where we are MAGA first, conservative second, Republican third, with the goal of bringing you the most honest news coverage of the day. All right. Check out our live stream tomorrow night, every Friday night at 6 o'clock Eastern. We read interesting news stories of the week, and we season it with a bit of humor, a dash of sarcasm, and a whole lot of conservative common sense. Join us tomorrow night. You'll have a good time. Now, let's talk about The View, a show that has somehow figured out how to be both completely predictable and completely wrong at the same time. That's not easy. Most people have to choose one, at least. This week's episode of Forced Outrage centers on a word the panel loves to deploy, but has never bothered to define: DEI. And stick around, because by the end of this segment, you'll understand why that gap between confidence and knowledge has a name, and why it explains almost everything that happens on that stage. Here's the setup. Senator Lindsey Graham, as you know, of South Carolina, passed away, and his sister, Darline Graham Nordone, was appointed to fill the remainder of his term through the primary and the general election by the Governor McMaster. That's it. That's the whole story. Family members finishing out unexpired terms is something this country has done for decades in both parties, without a second thought. But on The View, nothing is ever just a story. Sonny Hostin looked at the first female senator in South Carolina's history and decided the appropriate reaction was outrage. He said something was fundamentally wrong with the state. Give it a watch.
Make you wonder what was going on.
I don't love it. I don't love it. You know, she'll be the first woman to be a U.S. senator in South Carolina in the history of the state, and I think it's just fundamentally wrong that South Carolina just couldn't elect a woman, and this is the only way that it was done. I think that experience does matter, and while she is a certified optician and while she has done great work in that field, I don't think that she should be representing the people of South Carolina in the U.S. Senate. I just don't.
Isn't this the very definition of a DEI?
Correct. It's everything that the Republican Party stands against. Everything. It's DEI, nepotism, all these things thrown in together. And, you know, at this very same time, Pete Hegseth blocked more promotions for women, in particular for women of color to become admirals. And so this is happening. I feel like our government is fundamentally broken. And I disagree. I disagree with
I agree with you.
Yeah.
It's not like taking over your mother's job at the McDonald's.
Yeah, it's not. It's
You're
US
running.
Senate.
You're in government. You have to know what you're doing.
Put too much stock in who's currently in Congress, I think.
It's hard to know which one is the bigger idiot here. She suggested, apparently with a straight face, that doctors shouldn't be allowed to be senators. And she and Joy Behar called the appointment the very definition of a DEI hire. Now think about that for a second. A historic first, and I know the Democrats and the Libnuts are always into getting the first. So it's the first woman ever to represent the state in the Senate. And the panel's takeaway was grievance. Now, how about that? Not good for her, grievance. That's the House style at The View. Whatever happens, find the complaint hiding inside of it or make it up. Now, there's actually a term for what's going on here, and it's political, it's psychological, it's called the Dunning-Kruger effect. It's a cognitive bias where people with limited knowledge or competence in a specific area dramatically overestimate their own expertise. The less they know, the more certain they sound. You've seen this before, like AOC is a walking case study. The less she understands the subject, the more she talks like she wrote the textbook on it. And on The View, you got a live demonstration. Hostin and Behar used DEI as an insult without engaging with what that word actually describes. It became a reflex. It's not an argument anymore. And I mean, they've all done this. Whoopi Goldberg had her own entry for the Dunning-Kruger Award back during the Biden administration when she argued that Jill Biden should be made the Surgeon General because, in Whoopi's words, she's a great doctor. Jill Biden holds a doctorate in education. It's not even a PhD. It's an EHD, I think it's called. The Surgeon General oversees the U.S. Public Health Service. Different degree, different job, same casual confidence in being wrong. Here's the part that should embarrass the whole panel. If you're going to accuse someone of being unqualified, you should probably check whether they're actually unqualified. Darline Graham Nordone isn't a random pick pulled off the street. She's stepping into a seat the way family members have for decades across both parties as a placeholder until voters decide who holds it permanently. Now, Sonny went on to say, that this is a long-term position. She should have been elected. Well, it's not a long-term position. She's just there until the person who's going to get elected gets elected. There is no scandal buried in that fact. There's just a fact sitting there waiting for anyone on that panel to acknowledge it. Don't hold your breath. Not everyone on the show missed the moment, though. To be fair, Ana Navarro actually took the segment somewhere human, recalling the late senator with real warmth. Give this a watch.
Well, I think he had a lot of bipartisan friendships because, number one, he was an effective senator.
Yeah.
He knew how to deal with in the Senate. Also, Lindsey was a good time. Like when I first met Lindsey, he didn't drink at all. He would take sips of Baileys. Then he started drinking Riesling. But
Those are such random drink choices.
I would say
to him, come in through the sweet
all
drinks.
the time. I would say to him all the time, you are the most fun person I know sober than anybody I know drunk. Because he was hilarious.
Guys, that's a person talking about someone that they knew and clearly liked. It's the only moment in the entire segment that felt honest. And then right back to the grievance machine. Because less than 3 days after Graham died, Hostin was back on the air delivering what can only be described as a rude, ungenerous swing at a man who wasn't even in the ground yet. No pause, no grace, just straight into the attack. She's an animal, dressed up as a social commentary. She's just an animal. And that's really the whole story of the segment. And honestly, of this show. It's not a DEI story. It never was. It's a story about a panel that reaches for the loudest, most inflammatory label available, regardless of whether the label fits, because outrage performs better than accuracy with these guys. A little historical context. The kind any producer can look up in 10 minutes would have deflated the entire segment. Nobody bothered. So here's the closing argument that I want to make. The View didn't uncover some hidden scandal in South Carolina politics. What they revealed again is how comfortable they are talking with total confidence about things they haven't actually researched at all. That's the Dunning-Kruger effect, playing out in real time on a national stage week after week, and they are so clueless to it, they'll just continue doing it and entertaining us that way. Here's the bright side. The engine that keeps proving this point, the host's own words on camera, unedited, is that same engine that keeps handing you, the audience, the receipts. I mean, guys, you don't need me to tell you that The View got this wrong. You just watch them tell you themselves. And every time that happens, more people tune out the noise and start looking for the facts instead. That's a trend worth being optimistic about. So tell me what you think about this in the comments below. I want to hear from you guys. Thank you for watching. I'll see you in the next one.